Welcome, everyone. My name is Bert. I have been asked by the school board to talk to you today about violence and safety in the workplace. Sit back and relax. We should be able to wrap this up in about 15 minutes. I will pause my presentation from time to make sure you understand the material we are covering. So, let's begin. Let's look at workplace violence and conflict prevention. It is the policy of the Lambton-Kent District School Board to ensure that employees and members of the school community are treated with respect and dignity in accordance with the provisions of the Ontario Human Rights Code and safe school legislation. In this regard, every student, employee, trustee, parent, and community member has a right to equal treatment, to feel safe, and to learn and work in an environment that is free of discrimination, harassment, and violence. The goals of this e-learning course are to provide the staff with an awareness of policies and practices that will promote the development of an environment that is free of discrimination, harassment, and violence. Also, to provide the staff with an awareness of the potentially violent circumstances in their workplaces and strategies to address them. The topics that will be presented are workplace violence prevention, discrimination and harassment prevention, as well as respectful working and learning environment, preventing and resolving conflict. Let's focus in now on workplace violence prevention. In 2006, the Ministry of Labor, or MOL, identified the education sector as a high-risk environment for violence in the workplace. As a result, the MOL is recommending all school boards implement a workplace violence prevention program designed to protect its staff and students. This recommendation is expected to become a requirement for all workplaces in 2010. So, what is workplace violence? It is the attempted or actual exercise of any intentional physical force that causes or may cause physical injury to a worker. It also includes any threats which give a worker reasonable grounds to believe he or she is at risk of physical injury. The Ministry of Labor identified that the risk of workplace violence is greater in jobs that involve handling cash, protecting or securing valuables, transporting people and goods, a mobile workplace such as a vehicle, public or community contact, working with unstable or volatile people, working alone or with just a few people, or working late nights or very early mornings. Many of these situations can be found in an educational work setting. I believe it's becoming clear why district school boards are required to take action. In addition to the Education Act, including safe schools, the following legislation identifies what boards of education must do. Please note, the image will include a bulletin board that will have a heading, Legislation, with 2 bullets. 1. Occupational Health and Safety, and 2. Ministry of Education, Memorandum 128. So let's take a look at the legislation. The Occupational Health and Safety Act states that employers are required to take every precaution reasonable for the protection of workers. Pending an amendment to the Occupational Health and Safety Act, employers are required to educate workers on the risk of violence in the workplace. Supervisors must inform the staff of the potential risks, and workers are required to report to his or her employer the existence of hazard or potentially violent circumstances of which he or she knows. The next point, Ministry of Education, Policy Memorandum 128, the Provincial Code of Conduct and School Board Codes of Conduct, states that a school should be a place that promotes responsibility, respect, civility, and academic excellence in a safe learning and teaching environment, and a positive school climate exists when all members of the school community feel safe, comfortable, and accepted. Let's spend a moment talking about prevention of violence at the workplace. The risk of violence in the workplace can be minimized or prevented by recognizing the dangers, implementing preventative measures, engaging in prompt action on reports of violent workplace acts, and keeping everyone in the school community and employees informed of the potential for violent acts in the workplace.